Well, what's up, everybody? Curtis Wilkerson back for another episode of the Inside Arkansas Hoop Hogs Video Mailbag. And we've got a little bit of a double dip situation today. A couple questions that weren't exactly similar, but close enough to where I think we could talk about both of them in one episode. So let's give that a shot and see how it goes. The first question here comes from Pierce, and it's a good one. He says, with Cal's recent struggles to get deep into the tournament, should we expect the same fate with the Hogs? He goes on to say, why or why not? And obviously, he's a big-time recruiter, but Kentucky fans seem to think that he can't coach. Well, first of all, don't listen to anything Kentucky fans have to say. They're salty. It's the wounded ex-girlfriend situation. We know this, right? But it is fair, I think, for them to question some things given recent results, like you mentioned there. We should absolutely not expect the same results for the Hogs. No way is that acceptable to me. I will say, though, to those who say that, Cal can't coach anymore, or he's lost his fastball or whatever, the game's passing by, I do think that's a really lazy take. He's an active Hall of Famer. He didn't just forget how to coach basketball overnight. Now, has the game changed? Absolutely. Does he need to evolve in some ways? Yeah, for sure. But I think we've seen him doing that in ways since arriving at Arkansas. So it's the why or why not part of your question. I think, one, Cal knows that he can't be so reliant anymore on freshmen. It's a game that's gotten older and it's dominated by the transfer portal. Well, he's only got 3 young players this season. Now, they're all going to be really important, but he's not relying on them solely, right? Will that pay off? I don't know. We'll see. But that, to me, is him consciously admitting a fault and trying to address it and make it better. I think that's a good sign. Another thing, he does need to adapt to the way the game is played now. The dribble drive, the floppy action, there's a place for all that stuff. It can still be used, but you got to make some tweaks. You got to keep up with the times. It's why not having John Welch, who was basically his offensive coordinator last year at Kentucky, which was a really, really, really good offense, and they were a lot of fun to watch. I'm anxious to see what not having him at Arkansas is going to mean for how this team looks offensively. Is he going to carry some things over from that system that they had last year, or is he going to show some stubbornness and kind of fall back to some of his old ways, with the old playbook and some weird wonky lineup combinations that he kind of fell into a trap of using in the past? I don't know. We'll see. His teams have to be better defensively. They just do. I went and looked at the KenPom rankings the last 5 years, and his Kentucky teams finished 52nd, 35th, 36th, 68th, and 109th in adjusted defensive efficiency. That ain't going to get it done. Well, you look at the roster. Hey, I really like the rim protection with this team. I like Thiero and Nelly Davis as perimeter defenders. I think DJ Wagner is an underrated on-ball defender, especially if he's healthy with that ankle. So the individual pieces are there for this to be a pretty darn good defensive team, but they have to be solid schematically. And I thought they lacked in some of those areas the last few years, ball screen coverage and everything. Now, I don't know if that was a product of Oscar Tshiebwe just being as good as he was kind of a liability on that end. Now, he was crazy good on the backboards, right? You get one shot and you're done because that dude's going to get the rebound. But he really struggled in space, defending the pick and roll. Teams just put him in ball screen after ball screen. They really struggled with that. The rotations were late. And so I wonder if there's going to be some progress made on that end, because if there's not, it doesn't matter what your personnel looks like. So those are 3 things that I think that they could really work on to improve. And I'm seeing signs early that I'm struck by with Cal. It's like, okay, I recognize these are some deficiencies. I'm going to clean them up. We'll see how it pays off. We won't know until we know. At the end of the day, though, Cal's teams the last 3 years, yeah, they've been really disappointing in the end, but they've averaged over 23.5 wins per season. They've been a 3 seed and a 2 seed during that time. And that year in between, he didn't make the second weekend and people get, irritated about that or whatever, but they won a tournament game. They beat, I guess it was Providence a couple years ago in the first round. They lose to Kansas State in the second round. That was a Kansas State team that was loaded and made a deep run in that first year under Jerome Tang. Yeah, the St. Peter's thing never should have happened. The Oakland thing never should have happened. But they have been really, really good in the regular season and in SEC play. It's just got to translate over to the big dance, and I think that they're better equipped for that. That leads us to the other part of the equation here in the second question that I wanted to pair up here. And it comes from, nope, that's the wrong one. There we go. If Coach Cal never makes a Final Four, will he be considered a successful coach at Arkansas? That comes from Nicholas. Man, that's a thought-provoking question, isn't it? Kind of goes back to some of the things we just talked about in terms of, we know it's a Hall of Fame coach. John Calipari is his own brand. This is huge, huge for the program. But what should the expectations be given all the factors plus kind of the struggles that he's had here recently? I hate using Final Fours as a barometer because it's just so unbelievably hard to get to that point. I mean, it really does take like this special blend of talent and coaching and peaking at the right time and having the right matchups once you get there. And honestly, you just got to have some luck that falls your way to get to that point. I've said it before, but was NC State one of the best 4 teams in the country last year? No, but they made a Final Four. Was FAU or San Diego State even the year before? No, of course not. But they were red hot and they were playing the best basketball at the time. And they had some luck of the draw. Even in Arkansas's runs to the Elite Eight those few years, they did have some luck of the draw involved. I mean, when you've only got to beat Vermont and New Mexico State to get to a Sweet 16, I think that's very doable. When you have to beat a really good, but still, what was it, a 15-seeded Oral Roberts team to advance to an Elite Eight? That's a lot different than having to face what would have been a 2-seed in Ohio State or a Florida team that they also beat to get to that point. So all those things really matter there. But here's what I will say. I said all that to then turn around and say, they are paying Coach Cal a crap ton of money, and they've equipped him with a war chest of NIL to take this thing to the next step, which would be a Final Four, right? So from that standpoint, yeah, I mean, in a way, you can look at it from that standpoint and say, yeah, dude, you do need to make a Final Four if you want to consider this run to be a success. He's made several Final Fours before. He's won a national championship. Why would you not expect him to do that at his final stop here? And why wouldn't that be a qualifier for success? The only thing for me is if Cal had a 5-year run like Muss did with 3 Sweet 16s and 2 Elite Eights, I mean, I'd have a really hard time calling that type of run a failure, So it is a tricky conversation to have. And I don't know that there's a right answer. I think you can look at it from a few different lenses. Either way, the expectation is for him to win a lot of games, and that includes NCAA tournament games. But the entire point of bringing him in here was to get Arkansas to a place, quite frankly, that they haven't been since 1995. And they've been knocking on the door, and now they've got to get over the hump. Is Cal the guy to get him there? I think he certainly can be. And I hope that he is. But a couple really good questions there from Pierce and Nicholas. Really appreciate both of those. And I hope I answered them both in a short amount of time here. But guys, keep plugging away with those questions. Really cool. We've been posting these every morning at 8 a.m. We're going to try to continue rolling through those until we get to the start of basketball season. That's a lot of questions to be asked, but I'm pretty confident that we can get it done. Otherwise, I wouldn't have combined 2 questions just now to try to drag it out day by day. But they just keep flooding in. So hit me up on Twitter at @KurtWilkerson_. I've got a thread pinned at the very top of my profile page where a lot of those questions have flooded in. You can shoot me a DM. You can get in the YouTube comments here, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page where you're going to be able to find all these at Inside Arkansas. And I'm going to get out of here because we got another one of these to record, and another one coming out for you guys tomorrow. But it's been a lot of fun. Appreciate you guys, the engagement, the interaction, all very cool. Having just a ton of fun with this. I can't overstate that. But we'll catch you guys real soon. It's been Curtis Wilkerson with Inside Arkansas on the Potted Palace. Everybody have a good one.